on board Carnival Venezia. If you guys don't know, I am currently sailing on Carnival Venezia for the U.S. inaugural sailing. It's a 4-night sailing, and it is our last day on board. So I thought I would stop by to give you guys a quick review of what I feel about Carnival Venezia. So these will be my thoughts, my opinions, and again, this might vary depending on what you like in cruising, but I just wanted to give you guys my honest thoughts, my honest opinion about Carnival Venezia and what I've experienced so far. If you guys could let me know if you can hear me, that would be great. I want to make sure my mic is on. You guys can hear me. And before I get started, I also want to say happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. I know I'm missing Ron today. He is home right now, so this is our first Father's Day away, so I do miss him. My father's deceased, but those of you out there, happy Father's Day to you dads out there. Hi, Warmstrong, welcome in. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me? Hi, Vicky, welcome in. Again, this is going to be a quick review on Carnival Venezia. I do want to preface that I will do a recorded video, a review that way, because I don't know how the reception is, if this is going to look kind of spotty, and you probably hear a lot of background noise. There's really not a quiet spot on the ship, so I kind of tucked myself away here on deck 3 to see if I can get some quiet. The Lido deck is jam-packed right now. Serenity deck. I didn't want to do it for my cabin, guys. There's a beautiful view behind me, so hope you guys can hear me, and welcome in everyone. And if you have any specific questions, I'll try to get to those, but I just want to kind of walk through, and I have my chicken scratch there just to kind of refresh my memory. But I wanted to, while I'm on the ship, give you guys my thoughts, my opinion on Carnival Venezia. I know some of you guys are sailing here soon. Welcome in, Miss Daphne. Welcome in, Michelle. Vicky says, was it rough waters over to Bermuda? It's been a little rocky, not too bad, not as bad as I was expecting, but we did have a period where it was kind of rocky, just doing that crossover, and I think that's expected when you go to Bermuda, but nothing too bad. I did put on a patch day 2 because of it, but I didn't get nauseous or anything. People aren't getting sick. So, hi, Sig Cruiser, welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right, so I'm going to give my review on Carnival Venezia. Again, I'm still on board. This was a 4-night sailing going to Bermuda, and today's day 4. It is a sea day. It is, I don't even know what time it is. My time keeps changing. That's another thing. If you're cruising to Bermuda, your time is going to change a couple of times. So just keep that in mind. But I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about the ship, kind of what my thoughts are overall about the ship, the food, and the entertainment. So again, if you're coming in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I will do a recorded video of my full review. I just thought I would come live here today. Welcome in, Renelda and Miss Bree Brizzle. Sig Cruiser says, just booked my cousin and sister on the Venezia. I'll point them to this review. Thank you so much. Yes. And I did release day 1 our boarding day part 1 vlog. That is out there. And I also released this morning my 10 tips for cruising on Carnival Venezia. So please be sure to share that out as well. All right. So again, if you're just coming in, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Again, Ron is at home with 2 of the other kids, so I'm missing him today, but we'll make it for Father's Day. So I think he might join this live stream here soon. But happy Father's Day to everyone. So Carnival Venezia. If you've been following us on social media, I've kind of already mentioned this several times that this ship is gorgeous. So this is not your typical Carnival ship. For those of you that aren't familiar, Costa Cruises, which is an affiliate of Carnival, built the Costa Venezia back in 2019. It did take a few cruises, but then COVID happened and they did not restart this ship. Carnival bought it out. So it's turned from Costa Venezia to Carnival Venezia. When you get on board, you'll probably notice, if you've ever been on a Vista class ship, that this layout is very similar. It's not identical, but it's very similar to the Vista class ship because Costa Cruises had it built as a Vista class ship. But this is the Venus class of ship. This one in the Firenze, that's going to be debuting next year as well. So the ship itself is only about 4 years old. It is still in mint condition. Really no complaints about the ship. The ship is gorgeous. It's the decor is probably my favorite thing. Like, every area has a different type of decor, different types of chairs and seating. There's murals and pictures and all kinds of things all over the ship. So really, I mean, just going from one deck to the next, you're getting a different Italian visual, and decor is just amazing. So the ship itself is beautiful. Now there are some things about the ship that I noticed, as far as like quality, that, and I'm speaking more so of like in the cabin. Some of the quality, I notice is not quite what I'm used to with Carnival. I'm speaking of things, simple things such as like the beds. So the beds, and I mentioned this in my 10 tips, the beds are rather firm on this ship. So if you don't like a firm bed, I definitely recommend asking your room steward for a mattress cover, because the beds are extremely firm. And you guys know Carnival has their own line of like mattresses and bedding, and I don't think that that's what they're using on this ship currently. So um, that quality is a little bit off for me. Things such as like the toilet seat, and I know that sounds kind of crazy, but the toilet seats are like plastic, and we're having like an issue in our bathroom where the toilet seat keeps sliding. And I think because they might have tightened it too tight, but it's just those types of things. We've had issues with like getting in. Other people on our deck have had issues getting into their cabin with their key card. Like the doors aren't latching properly, so be sure if you're cruising that you check your door. And sometimes they won't even let you in. So there's those types of glitches and things that we're kind of having some challenges with. We've also had issues with like our shower not draining properly, and they've come a couple times to fix it, and it still is not fixed. So like after a 2-minute shower, your feet are submerged in water, and nobody wants that. Um, so those types of things, those are minor. That's not going to stop me from cruising, but there are some quality type things that I feel aren't up to par with typical Carnival standards. But again, the ship Italian themed. As soon as you walk into the atrium, I mean, it just hits you, and like there's like gold tones, natural tones. Just it's a gorgeous ship. And someone mentioned in my other live stream that it felt like a spa. Certain areas of the ship, it kind of had like that spa, like that serene colors, the setting for a spa. And I think that's the case across the ship. Some other things about the ship that I absolutely love. I love the Lido deck, and I know there's been a couple other reviews out there about the Lido deck being different. It is different, but different doesn't necessarily mean bad. I personally like this Lido deck because I am not a Lido deck lover, meaning I'm not the type that likes to lounge out in the sun all day, or even be out in the sun at all. So if you are someone that likes that, you may not like the Lido deck, the main Lido deck, but you probably will like the aft portion of this ship because that part is used more so than the Lido deck itself, which is different. The Lido deck does have a retractable roof, which is really nice in inclement weather. So they have had to pull it closed once, and they opened it up this morning. So that is a perk for Carnival Venezia. You can sail any type of weather, and you're still able to access the pool right there. Now, there is not a jacuzzi on the main Lido deck, which is also probably a flaw of this ship, is that there aren't many jacuzzis. On the Serenity deck, you do have 2 jacuzzis there. On the terrazza area, which is exclusive for those booked in a terrazza stateroom, they do have let me take that back. I have to think back if they have a jacuzzi there. And I don't have that experience, but I did get a chance to tour that. But then, like in the spa, there is one tiny, guys, when I say a tiny jacuzzi, like it's going to fit just one of me in there. So it's more like a bathtub, which I wouldn't get in. And they have them, one in the men's locker room, one in the ladies' locker room. So it's not even like if you wanted to relax in the jacuzzi with your spouse, you can't do that in the spa area. So there's very limited jacuzzis. And I can tell you the jacuzzis that they have on the back of the ship, on the aft Lido deck, are being used by kids. There were, and I'll have a video later about it, but there were probably at least 30 kids in one jacuzzi today. So the adults are not able to truly access those jacuzzis. And I wish Carnival would put some sort of rule that you need to be 18 or up to get in the jacuzzis. And I know some of you guys feel the same way, but yeah. So again, the Lido deck, they have new additions, not new additions, but new to the Lido deck. You have Java Blue Cafe, which isn't typically on the Lido deck. And I absolutely love its location there because you can grab your coffee and get a nice view right there on the Lido deck in the mornings. Let's see, they have Rococos. I think that's how you pronounce it. It replaces the rum bar, tequila bars on the ship, and they have frozen drinks, and it's really good. I did have a drink there, and it's really good. Miss Bree Brizzle says, I was wondering if they had a Cloud9 spa or spa cabins. I don't believe the ship does. They have the Terraza cabins, and it just gives you like a cabana access. I have not seen any spa cabins, but I'll double check. I'll leave a comment. I have not seen any, and I don't think I have not booked anyone in a spa cabin because the spa is kind of tiny on this ship. They have the treatment rooms, they have the gym, but they don't offer some of the same things other ships have. Like they don't have the thalassotherapy pool. They don't have, some of those things you come to expect in a spa. And so I think that they don't, but I'll double check that. Let's see what else. Something else to know about the Lido deck, which I'm not necessarily opposed to, is that like some of the main deck parties, particularly your sail away party, is not taking place at the main Lido deck portion. It is taking place at the aft, so all the way to the back, because there's more space for people to spread out. So it's taking place there. So if you're like me, and I usually try to get a good spot for sail away, don't wait in the midship area. You need to go all the way to the aft because that is where the sail away party and things are taking place. And my understanding is certain events, now this was a 4-day cruise, so all of the events you would have like on a 7 or 8 night cruise didn't happen on this cruise, but my understanding is some of those other events will also take place there. We did have White Night last night. That took place in the midship. I think they're kind of testing out which deck works better. And the reason for that is because the midship Lido deck, there's like balconies with like comfortable seating. There's not a space for you to like hang around and watch the Lido deck parties. It's really just a spot to sit in. It doesn't allow a lot of people there. So someone just asked if they gave us inaugural books. They did not. So what we got for our inaugural sailing, which I thought was a little bit of a disappointment, was this little plastic tote bag. So we got 2 of these in our room, and that was that. So I don't know if those on the transatlantic, if they got a different gift, but that's all we got. I know when I sailed on Celebration for the inaugural, we did get the book. No, I really didn't expect the book because Carnival did not have this ship built from the ground up. Costa Cruises did, so I wasn't really expecting a book, but I kind of was expecting something better than the plastic tote bag. But I'm carrying it around. I appreciate it, but yeah, we did not get a book. Some other things that are new on the Lido deck, which I love Tomadoros. So if you guys follow our channel, you know that I love Blue Iguana Cantina. It's one of my favorite spots. So Tomodoro offers sandwiches and different things. But they also have like the tacos and burritos. So I absolutely love that concept. And I did do a taste review, if you didn't catch the first vlog that I put out there, of the sandwiches. And out of the 3, I absolutely love 2 of them. So Tomadoros, I highly recommend that. Guy's Burger Joint. Now, I will, sorry, got distracted. So for Guy's Burger Joint, you guys know I am not the type that has to go directly to Guy's Burger Joint as soon as I get on the ship. But I did try out their 2 new burgers. They have a pepperoni pizza burger and one that has like balsamic vinegar, tomatoes, and different things. I can tell you the one with balsamic vinegar was really good. The one with the pepperoni pizza, when it comes with like a mozzarella stick or a block on top with some like spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce, did not care for that because I felt like it was pretty dense and like dry. But guys, the line at Guy's is longer than I've ever seen on any cruise. And I don't know whether it's just people want to try out these new burgers, but every single day, and they have 2 lines going for Guy's. The lines are like literally all the way back to the front of the Lido deck. I waited yesterday 30 minutes just so I can taste it. Mozzarella, it's called the Melty Moots. That one is real. Hold on, yeah, Melty Moots. It's really good. And I would probably get that burger again, but other than that, I would not wait in line for that. So what else on the Lido deck? But the Lido deck, what I really like is that there are like these cove areas. And me personally, I did get an interior cabin on the Lido deck. And I've been spending a lot of time on the Lido deck to have that fresh air, to have, to be out in the open. And they have like these comfortable areas with comfortable seats, not lounge chairs and tables, and you can just kind of